Are you curious about what dolphins and whales can teach us about joy, abundance, and love? Discover their wisdom today and learn how partnering with these majestic beings can bring healing to your life. Welcome to the Accelerate Ascension Summit, where we elevate awareness, magnify your message, and monetize your mission. I'm Dr. Katja Rusanen, your host. Joining us today is Anne Cordon, who is the founder of Whale and Dolphin Wisdom Retreats. She has been guiding transformational experiences with dolphin and whales since 2007, helping participants deepen their spiritual connection with nature. As a certified dolphin energy healing practitioner, she shares the powerful healing energy and wisdom of the majestic beings to empower others. Welcome, Anne. I'm super excited to have you joining us today.
Thank you, Katja. It's great to be here. And I just have to thank you, everybody, for tuning in, watching. And I just have to apologize. I'm actually on a retreat right now. It's very early morning here. And so everybody else is sleeping. So I have to be in a little room that doesn't have the best light. But we're going to bring in the energy of the dolphins and whales. So it's all good.
Yes, and you are light, so you are shining
Thank you.
there. And thank you for jumping in even when you are on a retreat, because I am so excited about the presentation you will be giving today. But before we go there, let me ask, as you are a dolphin and whale wisdom healer and expert, how did your special connection with these magnificent beings begin?
Well, it's a great question because I'm actually right now in the San Juan Islands in Washington State in the US and on an Orca retreat. And that's how my connection began is I grew up in this part of the world. My dad had a boat. We spent every summer vacation and many weekends out on the water and watching the orca whales. And I'm actually looking at the water right now out the window past my computer. And so I got to spend a lot of time with the orcas, and in university I studied marine biology, and it just kept growing and expanding from there. So I have had an entire life literally in the presence of dolphins and whales.
Oh, what a blessing. So
Mm-hmm.
now let's dive into your presentation so we can get little experience too. So, Healing the World in Partnership with Dolphin and Whales is your presentation title, where you share how dolphin and whales have much to teach us humans, and they can show us how to live in joy, flow, and easily serve through challenges open to abundance, unity, community, and unconditional love. And you will be also channeling their wisdom.
Let's dive in. And the dolphins and whales have been on this planet for close to somewhere around 40 million years. So we've been here like about 250,000, mere blip in comparison. So they're the master species here. They've mastered living in harmony and peace on this planet, and they have much to share with us little baby species here. So I have a little presentation, so let me share my screen here. Here we go. The dolphins and whales have been inviting us and are more than eager to be our guides to live a much happier life in this world. So they have many living skills that can help us to live in harmony. One is joy and play, right? When you see a dolphin, it is literally impossible not to smile. Just by thinking of them, watching them in person, and even pictures like this bring a smile to our face. They just literally represent joy and play. I've been obviously on many whale watching boats, and the dolphins show up, and even if I'm not guiding it, I observe people's behavior, and they instantly get very childlike. They start laughing, sometimes even bursting out into song the minute the dolphins show up. And they love, excuse me, they love to play throughout their entire life. This is a Hawaiian spinner dolphin. They have this game. They go and collect a leaf in the water and they carry it in their body like this one's doing. And then they'll drop it right in front of you so that you can grab it and carry it for a while and then drop it in front of them. Or sometimes they'll play keep away with you. It's a fun game that they like to do and get us to interact with them. Now, this comes from the whales. This is a direct quote. It says, humans think life is a series of problems. It's not. Life is a series of experiences, and it is up to you to choose how to feel and react. It's true. It is always our choice how we're going to react, how we are going to feel. Sometimes feeling is up to us. It's a choice. We're going to choose to get angry or frustrated. We're going to choose to say, yeah, whatever. Let's just move on. From the whales. I love this proverb. The body heals with play. The mind heals with laughter. And the spirit heals with joy. So these are some little Irrawaddy dolphins, and they suggest that you choose joy, choose to play. And here's the thing, happiness and like sad and angry and frustration, those are all temporary states of being. But joy can be a permanent state. And you have the choice to choose to be joyful your entire life. So follow the dolphins and choose joy. Now, flow. Dolphins and whales are always moving. They're not sedentary creatures. They don't have to always move, but there's no reason for them to be still. They're in this water environment. So they're always moving, always in flow. Now, if you think about it, excuse me, when the ocean gets really rough, when there's a big storm, when there's a hurricane, what do the dolphins and whales do in the face of a storm? Do they do what we humans do? Do they run? Do they avoid? Do they resist the problem? Nope. They go with the flow and they jump higher and play more. They'll use the force of the storm to propel them higher into the sky. They'll surf those giant waves and they have fun with it. I've personally seen it where on a quiet day, the whales are quiet and resting. Then I was on a boat, we got hit with a really big storm, came up out of nowhere, and the whales all started breaching, jumping out of the water, having fun with it. How can we do that in our lives? Imagine trying to play when there's a challenge in your life. Maybe you could. The dolphins transform adversity into a positive. How can you turn your challenges into a positive experience? They'll use the force of the storms to propel them to new heights that give them a whole new perspective. Maybe at that higher height, they might see a nice protective cove in an island. Maybe they'll see a flock of birds with feeding, which also means that there is usually fish and food for them. Maybe they wouldn't have seen that if they weren't able to jump that high before. So unity, community. This is a good one. I love this one because you all probably heard about how dolphins live together in pods, right? They live in tight family pods. And they're extended families, they're immediate and extended families, their community. And they stay with their pods their entire lives. Orca whales stay with their mothers. Even these big adult strong males never leave their mother. And so it works for them to stay in the community. Now, the beautiful part is when they stay in a community, some of us, we like to be independent, right? And we like to, I'm on my own, I can do it on my own. But the beautiful part in a dolphin pod is that they never lose their individuality. The individuality and the unique characteristics of each individual is honored and respected. They think with a pod mind. What is best for the pod is best for the individual. All without losing their sense of independence or unique personality. And whales represent abundance. This is a fun one. They are the largest animals on Earth. This is a blue whale. Blue whales can be up to 100 feet long, over 30 meters long. So they're quite large. I've been next to them where it's like this animal goes on forever. And they eat the smallest. They eat krill that are like half an inch long, tiny little things. You never see a skinny whale. You never see them suffering or worrying about food. Not only are they the largest animals, they often go up to 4 months without eating. Now, this slide shows you the migration routes of the humpback whale, which sometimes can be over 6,000 miles. And when they migrate from the polar regions, the Antarctic and the Arctic, and they feed in the polar regions, but they don't eat. They travel, they migrate to warmer tropical waters to breed and give birth. And so it's better for the baby. And to them, nobody wants to be born in that cold Arctic water. And so in those tropical areas, there's not the kind of fish and food and krill that they need to survive. And so they just go without eating. And they never worry. When they're in the polar regions, of course, they're eating, and eating. But they manage it. And think about this, a mother humpback whale can swim up to 6,000 miles and she's pregnant, right? And then she'll give birth, feeding that calf 50 to 100 gallons of milk every single day while she's eating nothing. Pretty incredible. And they don't just sit around. I've spent a lot of time with these whales in their breeding, birthing areas, and they're not like trying worried and trying to conserve energy. You know, we get when we're low on money, we're like, oh my gosh, I have to be really careful about my spending. And I'm not saying you should spend money you don't have, but the whales know how to conserve their energy and not have to like worry about it. They are often breaching like this, playing, slapping their fins around, and males are chasing the females. There's lots of energy being expended, and they never worry about it. The concept of lack does not appear to be a possibility for the whales. Think about that. In our world, there is so much fear around a lack. It's pervasive throughout our society. But imagine if we never thought about, what if we run out, right? What if? Now, whales create their own abundance. Now, this picture's a little funny because you see these brown clouds in the water. What happens when you eat? Well, your body then goes through and extracts the nutrients, and we all know what comes next. They gotta poop. And this is whale poop in the water. Sorry to get a little graphic there. But the thing about the whale poop is that there's lots of nutrients in their poop. And so in those nutrients, then there's nitrogen, there's all these nutrients that then goes to feed the krill, the small fish, the plankton, and all the way up the food chain. So science has proven that the more whales that are eating krill and fish, there's more krill and fish because of the nutrients that the whales are putting into the water than if there were no whales eating them at all. So it's not what you might think. The more whales eating fish and krill, there would be less. But there's actually more. So just by whales being whales, they're creating their own abundance. So let's talk about healing energies. There are many, many documented cases of people experiencing spontaneous healing in the presence of dolphins. I've also seen it in the presence of whales. People have reported chronic back pain, joint pain, even tumors completely disappearing after one swim with dolphins. That's pretty amazing. And with the whales, I personally have noticed this from the very first retreat I led back in 2007. When in the presence and the energy of whales, emotional blocks and limiting beliefs are just beautifully, gently released. I like to say that in the presence of whales, you don't have to have a big traumatic breakdown to have a powerful, life-changing breakthrough in your life. Not only can this healing energy be received when in the presence of dolphins, it can have equally powerful results when sent through an attuned dolphin energy healer like myself, both in person and over great distances. Now in this picture, I'm doing it in the presence of dolphins, but I've only done that once. I've been doing this, I've been certified since 2005, and I do it over distance every single day. Dolphin and whale energy healing is a deeply respectful, highly advanced form of spiritual energy healing. And I would like to give you a little booklet here. This is a fun little ebook which goes into more information about everything that I've talked about today, healingwithdolphinswhales.com. And thank you for your time. So I'm going to stop sharing, and then we have a special treat for you today.
We do. Thank you so much for that beautiful presentation. And those images were so captivating. I just love dolphin and whales. And what you shared as well about dolphins, that people just smile. And they said, I was smiling.
It's impossible not to.
I saw the photos. I was just smiling here.
Exactly. And it's so fun to watch people on a boat the minute they show up, and they just get so childlike, and it's amazing how many times they'll just burst into song, and they're not always singing, fancy songs. Sometimes it's like 1960s TV theme songs. It's just silly, fun stuff.
Yeah, it brings that energy,
Yes.
definitely. It's a beautiful, beautiful energy. So now you said that you can channel some of the wisdom from the whales.
Yes.
So
So how this is going to work is I'm going to tune in, and the whales will come through. Usually what they'll do is they'll have a little bit of a opening greeting for you, and then they'll ask if there's any questions. And I know, Katja, you have selected some questions from some of our summit participants that you're going to share with me out loud, and then the whales will answer them. And I'll have my eyes closed the whole time. That helps to keep my connection with them.
Beautiful.
So, ready?
Let's go. Yes.
Okay. Greetings. We are honored to be here with you all that are watching, and we are in gratitude for being able to reach you through this method, and that we would like you to know that we are always here with you, that we are highly conscious beings, and that we are fully aware of our self as spirit, as soul, and that we are not as attached to our physical bodies as you humans are, which means that we can be with you even if you are far from the ocean, and that we would invite you to think of us like a loving grandparent or your favorite uncle or aunt that is here to listen, that is here to unconditionally love you, that is here to support you and guide you, and that you are never alone, and that we are always here, and you can ask for us to show you our presence through signs. And when you do that, don't be surprised if all of a sudden you start seeing pictures of whales and signs of whales in the clouds, on bumper stickers, on t-shirts, all around you when you never noticed them before. That is us showing you our love, our care, our presence constantly in your life. And we would love to hear your questions.
So here's the first question. It's asking about the origin. So where did you come from and how did you get here on Earth?
What a fun question. Most of us are off-planetary beings. We come from, there are actually several planets with us on them in the universe, and that the one you are most familiar with is Sirius, and that we came as sparks of light, much like you see a picture of a meteor shower, that we came as sparks of light, and part of our mission is to keep the energy and the balance of the planet, of your Earth. And we do so in many, many ways. We are, for example, our humpback whales in our overlying group of whales, they are singers, and they sing their energy into their song, into the grid lines of the planet, and to keep them energized and healthy. And all of us whales hold the wisdom of the earth, the Akashic records of the earth in our beings. And we do this for you. And in fact, you can think of us, call us in to meditations, into your dreams, and we can give you access to the information, the wisdom that you most need at that time. Do not hesitate to call on us. There is one species that is not off-planetary. That is the gray whales. They're earth whales. They feed in the mud, sifting out small little creatures like small shrimp in the mud. They are very different in shape to the rest of the whales. And they are helping the rest of us who are off-planetary to ground. They are related, but from different origins. And so that is our connection to this earth through the gray whales. So we hope that helps answer your question.
Thank you. And I have another question here that is asking, how do we fix the world we live in?
Oh, we love this question. We get this question often, and we appreciate and are so glad that you asked. And we also feel your heart. We feel how hard it is for you sensitives, humans, when there is chaos, when there is war, when there is pollution, when there is damage to the earth. We feel how much it hurts you. And we appreciate you for that. And our answer is always the same. It starts with you. You do as much as you can do. And that can be with recycling. Can be with consuming what is sustainable to consume. Obviously, that is not using as much, avoiding plastics and avoiding products that are harsh on the earth. And so you may think, it's just one person, I'm not making a difference. We are here to tell you, you are making so much more of a difference than you will ever know. And the most important thing beyond what you consume and how you behave on earth, it is in your heart to do your own inner healing, to bring yourself to a life filled with joy. When you are happy inside, when you are joyful and you are happy with yourself, content with yourself, feeling and living your highest purpose, following your joy, then you are a happier person. You are reacting to others more positively. You have more patience. You have more compassion. You have more understanding. And when you do this, that softens the entire world. You are less reactive. You are less frustrated. You are less angry. And so you react to the people around you in a much calmer fashion. And then that spreads this ripple away, wave of kindness and compassion, so that the people whose lives you touch are softened by your presence. So the answer is within you, always. That is how you change the world and make it a better place. Let go of the anger towards those who are causing harm. Instead, have compassion. And if that's hard to do, think of that person. For example, think of a politician who you completely disagree with. And it's easy as an adult to be mad at them and frustrated. But think of them as like a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old who did not receive a good, loving, strong, nurturing childhood. It's easy to feel compassion for someone, a young child, who is in a very difficult situation. Start there. Softens your heart towards them, which then can soften their heart. That is how you change the world.
I have another question here about abundance, as that is the gift you have. So, how to get out of the grip of money and debt?
We love that you've asked this question. Of course, as you now know, we represent abundance. And it is a mindset. It is not a result of what is in your bank account. And we understand for humans that is hard, not to go into fear when there is very little within money in your possession. But it comes from a state of peace within you. Because even though you may be on a fixed income or you're working a job and the money, you earn what you earn, you are not limited to that money. There's always a way to create more in your life, but only if you believe it. So that is your job, is to believe in yourself, in your ability to create your own abundance. Maybe you have a skill that you can do on the side that can bring in more money. Or maybe if you really start believing that there is more and there is enough, because today on this planet, there is more than enough resources for every form of life on the planet. Lack is just a concept that you humans have invented. And so you never know where abundance can come from. Let go of how it should come. And the other thing that we like to share with you is that money is, yes, it is a tool. But when you are in constant fear and constant lack, you start to really dislike money. And of course, that's not the way to attract it. So we invite you to play with money. And we're not talking about necessarily using money to give you opportunities or experiences or buying toys and fun things that you can play with. We're literally talking about playing with money. Taking coins, stacking them up like Lego, putting coins on their side like dominoes. You could take paper money and you can fold it up like origami. You can do fun things, make paper airplanes out of dollar bills. When you play with money, it shifts your attitude towards money. And instead of being this thing that you worry about, it's like, see what I can do today. If you played with your money, throw money out on the table and just like, get creative and play with it for 10 minutes every day, it would completely shift your attitude towards money. And you would enjoy spending time with your money instead of worrying about your money. And before you know it, all of a sudden, there's more money coming in to play with. So let go of the fear. No matter what your bank account looks like, no matter how much actual money you have. Because no matter what you have, you're always going to have some coins to play with. So go play and watch it grow. We hope that is helpful.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now, as a final question to ask, if there is a special message for the Accelerate Ascension Summit participants.
Yes. We'd like to address the title of this summit. And we honor you, Katja, for creating this special opportunity for people to, we want you to really think about this title, Accelerate Your Ascension. Some of you may not have really thought about the title. In fact, it's cool, but it's powerful. And many of you don't really think that I can't ascend in this lifetime. And ascension does not mean that you are going to become like Jesus and literally ascend into the heavens, although you go. But ascension means to raise your vibrations, to raise your consciousness, to elevate your way of being, your conscious thought. And so we invite you to listen carefully to each speaker and to create your own practice of every day. Now asking yourself, how can I raise my frequency today? And what that means, it doesn't mean that you have to get your energy going. It means, how can I be more at peace? How can I be more compassionate? How can I share my light and my joy and gifts with the world? How can I make the world a better place every day? You humans are so good about being busy and moving through and constantly doing. But if you take a moment and just sit in beingness, focused on being compassionate, being gentle and kind, and spreading that energy in the world, that will bring you into ascension, that will ascend your frequency, that will ascend your quality of life, that will ascend your awareness of your soul, of your higher self, more than just this physical body. So thank you for being here. Thank you for saying yes to raising your consciousness to ascension.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Welcome
That
back,
was
Anne.
fun.
That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing those beautiful messages. And I could feel the energy when you connected. I was like, whoa, I feel it too.
Wow. Ooh, I love their message. I mean, I love all their messages, but sorry, my eyes get watery when I channel. But I love their message about the name of the summit, and
I know.
it was
I was like, wow.
beautiful.
I was
You
like,
didn't
wow.
even think of all that, did you?
I had that thought, but like the wording was very beautiful, how they described, because the intention was there, but I
Right.
loved how they explained it. So
Yeah, it's fun.
yeah. And now, as we start wrapping up, and I just want to say thank you for the wisdom you have brought forward. And just asking if there is a final message about Dolphin and Whales that you'd like to share with our audience.
Yeah, absolutely. I would just like, again, as the Dolphins talked about the joy and the play, and the whales brought in playing with the money, that just play more. We adults are just so bad about playing and getting silly, and that just brings the joy back into our life. So take time to play. And if you're like, how am I going to play? Go find some puppies or kittens or some little children. They'll get you playing. Just play, get on the floor and roll around and be with them. Play a game, a silly game, get yourself laughing, and just enjoy life and know the Dolphins and Whales are here for you. You just have to ask them. They're here.
Beautiful. Thank you, Anne, for your time and valuable insights and the wisdom that you brought forward today.
Thank you for the opportunity. It was a pleasure and a joy.
And thank you for tuning into this Accelerate Ascension Summit session. If you enjoyed this, please do give it thumbs up. And also, it's now time for you to share, shine, and succeed. Until next time. Bye for now. Join Accelerate Ascension Summit now and get access to 12 amazing speakers and their incredible gifts.